Hi, my name is Wiley Cox, and for my project, I decided on choosing rigor mortis. Rigor mortis is defined as a postmortem change resulting in the stiffening of the body muscles due to chemical changes in their myofibrils. Rigor mortis helps in estimating the time since death as well as to ascertain if the body had been moved after death. It's considered to be one of the natural stages of decomposition as it starts in 2 to 6 hours after death and it is at full peak at 12. Rigor mortis is known to first begin in parts of the face such as the eyelids, the jaw, and the neck as lactic acid distributes throughout the body, and then it later begins to spread to various muscles in the arms, the legs, the hands, and etc. Rigor mortis is then moved to the heart and other internal organs, or the body's in a full stiff-like state. This picture is about 30 years old, and it shows two bodies that had washed up to shore, and as you can see, they are in rigor mortis as their hands are stuck like this. This is a short video that shows muscle contractions and rigor mortis and how that works. It's about 4 minutes long, so I won't play it, but it is very educational and very interesting as it kind of breaks it down in a way for people to understand. This is a chart that shows the progression of rigor mortis. As it says, at 2 to 6 hours, rigor begins. The body does become stiff, and the stiffness moves down the body, and it begins in the eyelids and the jaw muscles at about 2 hours, and in the center of the body and the arms and legs. At 12 hours, the rigor is complete, peak rigor is exhibited, and the entire body is rigid. At 15 to 36 hours, there is a slow loss of rigor, and then it begins to go into the other stages of decomposition. The loss of rigor begins in the small muscles first, followed by the larger muscles, and it goes first in the head and the neck, and then in the bigger muscles. Kind of similar as to how it first starts in the smaller muscles, it also fades away in the smaller muscles first. At 36 to 48 hours, which is about 3 to 4 days, the rigor totally disappears and the muscles become relaxed, but many variables can extend rigor beyond the normal 36 hours. A lot of things that need to be considered is the sex of the person, how they died, how much they weigh, and things like that. Bodies that have experienced a higher level of rigor mortis, the more difficult they are to embalm. These moments that are ones that require funeral professionals to bend the body to allow flexibility and movement of the muscles for an easier embalming process. The movement of limbs allows for embalming fluid to reach all places throughout the body. For decedents that are not moved in this way, it is more difficult for the embalmer to position the deceased correctly, which limits the body's access to the embalming fluids. This is about a 30-second TikTok. I won't play it, but it's from a very educational influencer, I guess you could say. He posts really good content, and it just kind of shows how funeral directors will kind of bend at the knees, bend at the arms, just to kind of loosen up rigor mortis. And then this is a photo, I guess it's an older photo, but it does show how funeral directors do kind of hold the deceased in that way to break the rigor mortis. For embalmers, the human body's natural formation of rigor mortis is an important aspect to understand because it can be beneficial and or challenging to work with during the embalming process. The time between the death and embalming determines if the natural form of rigor mortis is helpful to the embalmer. For decedents who have passed away in a short period of time before they arrive to the funeral home, there's not a lot of breaking that needs to be done. It is a lot easier for the funeral director or embalmer to embalm. If there has been a large amount of time between the decedent getting to the funeral home and since they've passed, the funeral director more than likely will have to make the decedent more flexible. That way they can receive those fluids in the proper places. When funeral directors and embalmers understand all stages of decomposition, not just rigor mortis, they can properly identify each stage and treat them with the proper solutions. Depending on the level of decomposition, embalmers must take into consideration as to what fluids to use, the volume of each fluid, and many other important components that go unnoticed within the funeral industry. It is these decisions that embalmers make that determine how a decedent looks in the presence of a family and friends during a viewing and or service. The way that a decedent looks in death is incredibly important as it not only leaves an everlasting memory in the minds of the deceased loved ones, but it also can be an aid to those who are in the grieving process. For a lot of people, seeing their loved one that last time really aids in that process. It gives them that sense of closure, so it makes it even more important and beneficial to embalm properly and to take the right way to embalm that person. Overall, the benefits of understanding rigor mortis and decomposition are vital, as it is a main component within the embalming process as well as under important parts of the funeral industry. The death care industry can be a puzzle as all pieces within it are connected. The choices that we make when we embalm influence the decisions we make in the future. The decisions that we make together with the families we serve are reflective of our knowledge of our field. By having that knowledge, we can lead families to make the choices that are right for them and their loved ones.